Hello viewer, my name is Brickslash and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'll be doing a breakdown on the all new leaked intro for the latest Ninjago season. I have a lot to say about it, so I'm not going to waste any time and get straight into it. The intro starts off with a crystal floating around in a dark space and being zoomed into. It shows a portal inside of the crystal that leads to the rest of the intro, and though this is made just for the intro and probably has no significance to the story, the portal looks to be similar to the portals used by the dragons in the pilot episodes of Ninjago. And though the similarities are very small, I think it was still worth mentioning, as it's a little fun to look back and find similarities between the first episodes in Ninjago and the latest episodes. The second thing that I found is that the crystals shown throughout the intro actually bear resemblance to the crystals that were on the tips of the spears of the keepers of the amulet. So there could be some connection there. And also, it has the same purple lightning as the one that appeared in the storm belt around the Uncharted Island. This is way too specific to be a coincidence, so there is definitely a connection between these crystals and the keepers of the amulet. This intro uses the same style as the Season 11 intro by showing clips of the previous episodes and flying through them. Since this season takes place after Seabound, it shows clips from Seabound's finale, but there's also one new scene which shows a lot of things that I'm going to get into right now. The most obvious thing is that Jay has actually grown a full beard in this clip, which shows that quite some time has passed between Seabound and this new season. According to Google, it takes about 2 to 4 months for a man to grow a full beard, so we can assume that that's how long the time gap between Seabound's finale and this new season is. Jay's beard also implies that he hasn't quite been taking care of himself since Nia left the ninja team, and he isn't really in a good place when the season starts off. We can also see that the other ninja are in the background, but what's more important is behind them. If you look at the walls, they're actually very similar to the Lighthouse's walls, where Dr. Julian lived. It would make sense that Jay would go to the Lighthouse, because Jay and Nia really bonded during Season 6 when they went to the Lighthouse to escape Nauticon. The Lighthouse is also in the middle of the Endless Sea, and since Nia is the Endless Sea, Jay would be closest to Nia by staying at the Lighthouse. And speaking of Nia, Jay actually seems to be holding a cup of water as a way to honor Nia, and it looks like there are a bunch of more glasses of water on the windowsill behind him. Though they may not be glasses of water, they could be something else, but it would make sense if they were. We can also see that Kai has a brand new gi in this intro. When I first saw it, my mind instantly went to Kai's red Shogun uniform from Season 4, though there are a lot more uniforms that more closely resemble this new uniform. In my opinion, it looks a lot more close to Kai's Legacy 2 uniform. It never appeared in the show, but it appeared in the sets. Even though this uniform has similarities between older uniforms, it is definitely a brand new gi. Now closing in on the final parts of the intro, the camera twirls around and focuses on a giant floating crystal. And if you watch closely, you can actually see the lightning flowing through the other crystals leading up to the giant one. And finally, the crystal explodes to reveal the Ninjago logo. And as this intro was leaked via a Portuguese TV channel's Instagram, the language around the Ninjago logo is in Portuguese, and it translates to new season soon. Through this, we can assume that this was meant as a teaser, yet it probably wasn't meant to be posted as it was actually removed from the TV channel's Instagram a little while after, but not before being reposted onto social media platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. Now, something interesting I find about this intro is that it actually has a lot of similarities with the Skybound intro, as the intros both have Ninjago logos that are golden and have cloudy backgrounds. These similarities actually make a lot of sense, as both Nia and Jay had a big role in Skybound, and will probably have a big role in this new season too. Another thing noteworthy about this golden logo is that in every single Wild Brain produced season of Ninjago, each logo coincides with the season and what it's about. Now, with these new sets to coincide with the season, there's a trend of having golden dragon vehicles. So this golden logo is a reminder of these golden dragon vehicles and how golden power may return in this new season.
Plania.
For this scene, Google Translate wasn't really working, but it sounds like they're saying something along the lines of for Nia, which implies that they might be making this very strong decision, maybe to go after a bad guy, who knows. Or maybe they need to bring back the ninja team because Jay left, which is a given, but maybe Kai left too since he has a different suit, and maybe Lloyd too because he's wearing a different outfit. Though that may be because he is undercover or something like that. Because I don't really think Lloyd would leave the ninja team. Though it would make sense if he did, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because he may feel guilty for Nia's death, because he is the leader of the team after all. So that type of story or plot point would make sense for his character. Now, this scene is probably taking place on a beach because of all the sand and that water up in the corner of the screen, along with the rock. Which may mean that this scene takes place after the ninja get Jay back and he shaves, and they're on this beach of the Lighthouse Island and honor Nia from there, or they're honoring Nia back on the beaches of Ninjago City after they rescue Jay from the lighthouse, and maybe bring back Echo Zane? Along with Tai D, of course, like he deserves it after what Jay did to him back in Season 2. Now, getting back on topic, judging by the color of the sand and the shadows of the ninja, it's probably sunset or sunrise in the scene. So, I think that by the way the ninja were saying for Nia, well, what I think is for Nia, this scene is probably meant to be an emotional one. So, I'm going to call it right here, right now. I think that this scene will be at the end of one of the episodes. So, when you're watching the new season, make sure to see if I get it right, and this is at the end of an episode. Now that I've gone through all of the animation, I'm going to go through the music. Now, it's no secret that this intro has music that isn't sang in English. Now, it's a little hard to tell because of that, whether or not it's a new Weekend Whip or following the trend that the island in Seabound had of making a remix of the Ninjago Overture. Now, I personally think that it's a mixture of the Ninjago Overture and a new Weekend Whip, as a Ninjago Overture remix, as shown in the island in Seabound, as I just mentioned, didn't have lyrics, but this does have lyrics. Some evidence supporting this is that we can actually hear elements of a Ninjago Overture and a Weekend Whip. The final thing that I noticed in this video is that when the camera zooms in on Jay and the rest of the ninja, it has, with the audio, almost this epic tune to it, with the instruments used. And though this is probably not intentional, I think it's still worth noting, because this is the first time that we see the ninja after Seabound in a new clip. That's not a clip from a previous episode that's already came out. So this tune helps us remember who the heroes of the story are. And to add on to my previous point, this tune has an almost one last time tune to it, which reminds us of Tommy Andreessen's tweet, where he was asked to describe this new season with one word. And the word he chose? It was conclusion. A conclusion to this team of the ninja, a conclusion to the Vengestone buyer's story. Well, we don't know, because at the end of the day, this is just all speculation. And with that, I would like to thank you, yes you, the viewer, for watching. I hope to see you next time.